Life at 40 is already an Olympic level balancing act. You've got work meetings, you've got soccer practice, you've got date night, and now you're trying to fit in jiu-jitsu? Congratulations, you've officially gone pro in scheduling. Now let's go. In the real world, being older usually comes with its advantages. In the real world, being older usually means being in charge. You're the one making the decisions, you're the one making the calls. Hell, you probably even know which is the fancy fork to use at dinner. On the mats though, you're the rookie. You're asking, is this the right way to tie my belt, or is this a Boy Scout knot? On the other hand, you have younger grapplers who are like overcaffeinated squirrels.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the
They'll try 15 moves in a minute, and if one doesn't stick, doesn't matter, they're going to keep moving to the next one. You, however, you're not messing around. You know that every moment has to count, and your knees only have so many tries left in them. Ah! Look, the reality is a 20-year-old can faceplant while they're rolling and just laugh it off. You, on the other hand, yeah, you're going to feel like you're questioning your life choices, and you're going to need to call your chiropractor up on speed dial. I can tell you this story real quick. I remember this was years ago when I was younger, and I was boxing with my coach, Phil Wills, and it was one Saturday morning. We were getting ready for a fight, so we were going a little harder sparring than we normally did. And I remember he caught me clean with a good big hand down the middle, bang. He got me, and I remember thinking at the time, I wasn't worried about like how much it hurt or any of that stuff. I was just thinking, like, damn, I got to remember to defend that punch next time. So how am I going to counter that next time there's a punch? I mean, it was like everybody in the gym walked over and like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. In hindsight, taking that shot now, probably a little different result, right? So having youth has its advantages. Now let's take the flip side of that. Imagine that you're a senior executive. You walk into a meeting and someone half your age is kind of fumbling through the presentation. You're calm because you've seen it all before. But that same kid on the mat, all of a sudden he's practically a black belt in pretzel making and you're the pretzel. It's like that scene from Fight Club where the narrator talks about that young man that works with him. He is practically useless, can't remember whether he uses pens with black ink or blue, but when he gets into that Fight Club, he is an absolute savage, right? And by the way, sidebar, if you haven't watched Fight Club or haven't watched it in a while, then go back and watch it. It's a classic. But does that mean that you're forever bound to be a pretzel? No, it doesn't. The good news is life has taught you patience, strategy, and the value of choosing your battles. You've learned that sometimes the best move is to stop struggling and wait for the perfect moment. Like when that guy finally decides to let go of the armbar because he gets tired, and then you spin around and then you take his back. Treat your gym like it's a doctor's appointment. Because quite frankly, at this age, it's either you hit the mats again or you make another appointment with the proctologist. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather hit the mats. Morning classes are great, especially if you're an early bird. If you're not an early bird, you can consider it character building. The great thing is, depending on where you train, they may even have early AM classes that allow you to go train and get back home in order to get ready for the day. Or you can shower at the gym and head out, depending on what the schedule availability is. Think of this as the first battle of the day. You versus the alarm clock. Who's going to win? Alternatively, lunchtime classes can be a good fit. The problem with lunchtime classes are everybody tends to be busy at lunchtime. If you have the availability to come and train, it also means you may be pulled into meetings or pulled into appointments, so you can't consistently bank on having the same training partners routinely for the next year or two. You might have a class of 10 one day, you might have a class of 2. I speak from firsthand experience, and they're great classes. They just tend to be a little more hit or miss on the training partner aspect because everybody has a busy time usually that allows them to go train or pulls them away from the mats. If you have kids, sign them up for jiu-jitsu too. The great thing is here, a lot of places don't offer family classes where you can train with your kids, but some places do. And even if you're just watching, guess what? You're doubling your exposure to jiu-jitsu, and it's something that you guys can bring home to the family later on at the dinner table and talk about that new triangle defense that you learned. So use the family as an opportunity to bring everybody together and be a little selfish and get some additional jiu-jitsu time. If your gym doesn't have kids classes, well, bribes always work. Sounds like it might be one of those Chick-fil-A or pizza nights. It's not manipulation, it's strategic persuasion. And if your partner isn't thrilled about your new hobby, well, I guess it's time to find a new partner. No, but seriously, if they aren't, you can always compromise, offer them kind of a trade-off. One class equals a date night of your pick. What do you want, honey? Just make sure you get to pick the snacks, though. You don't need to sell it to them too hard. Just explain how important it is to you at this point for you to be able to train. Something along the lines of, look, I need to be able to train because it helps to reduce stress. It helps to give me something to focus on. I feel so much healthier doing it. And quite frankly, I like having the ability to defend my family. Plus, jiu-jitsu is more than just a workout. It's a life skill, right? It's like learning how to parallel park, but infinitely more important. Like how parallel parks itself. Like, well, I don't even need to do anything nowadays. Remember, just explain that you'll be home for dinner, except you'll have a few more bumps and bruises before when you left. And when they say, hey dad, why are you walking funny? You can tell them that you're practicing some super secret advanced wrestling moves. Shh. Look, for balance, 2 or 3 training sessions is really all you need to get started. Quality over quantity. In my experience, when people have trained multiple days a week, right, they get super excited, they start to want to go 4 or 5 days, you get burned out really fast, right, because it's hard to maintain and it's hard on your body. But starting out with smaller training sessions, looking at 2 to 3 times a week, your family doesn't freak out, and your body has a chance to adapt, and actually you will be able to train longer in timeline. Remember to stretch after every session. Foam roll like it's your new religion, and hydrate, because nothing says rookie move like getting a hamstring cramp mid-roll. So progress doesn't always look like submitting somebody. It doesn't also mean that you compete at Worlds and win. Sometimes progress is surviving 5 minutes on a hard roll without saying, I'm too old for this shit. Balancing life in jiu-jitsu is incredibly hard. It's like trying to triangle choke somebody as they're stacking you. It's not easy to do, but when you pull it off, it's beautiful. That's going to wrap it up for today, guys. So tell me in the comments below, what's been your craziest excuse for missing a jiu-jitsu class? Mine was my dog is emotionally needy.